was heading to a meeting I had this morning. I was walking along the sort of fire escape that comes out of the back of my apartment. I saw a moth, and it was sort of not flying. Sort of sometimes moths get really big and fat and they can't really fly very well, or maybe because it was a little wet in the air, it's sort of been raining off and on. It was kind of feebly moving around along the fire escape, and normally my regular reaction is to try and catch it and move it away from the fire escape and move it somewhere else. And before I did that, I stopped, and I realized that in the past when I've done that, and they've sort of said as well, sometimes when you touch the wings of a moth, you leave oils, and you take some of the powder off their wings, and it makes it difficult for them to fly. And I realized that maybe if I just left it alone, nature would take its course, and it would find somewhere to sort of move to, and it would dry out on its own, and it would fly off and be on its way. And sort of that really gave me a moments of peace. But it also made me realize something, is that a lot of times in the past when I'm walking around, if I see someone that looks like they're in distress, I'll help them. Which is fine. I mean, you can do that from time to time for sure, but also sometimes if I see someone in a store and they're looking at two different products, I'll go over and I'll offer them advice on which one I think is better, rather than waiting for the store person to come over and do that, which is their job. So, and I noticed that there's a pattern in my life where I do that regularly. I'll help people and I'll offer advice to people even when they're not asking for it. And I think that it's a good lesson to learn, is that in your life, if you don't need to help everyone all the time, and you definitely don't need to offer advice to people unless they ask for it. Even if someone's ranting to you about a problem that they have, just be a good active listener, listen to what they have to say, and be there for them. But if they ask you for advice or they ask you for help, then you can extend it. I think the only time it would ever, you could ever offer help or offer something is if someone's in some sort of a major problem. Like I've had friends with drug or alcohol problems, and it's very, very difficult for them to identify when they need their own help. And you can offer an olive branch to them one time, and you have to make sure that you extend that olive branch in a way that is really, really poignant and simple and doesn't tread on their toes or make them withdraw. And you can say, look, I sort of see that you might have some concerns about something, and I'd like to let you know if you ever do need help, I'm there to give it. So you're not even offering help, you're offering to give them help if they want it. And that's something that I'm going to try actively to apply for the next week, and then also in my life, is that let people's own path, let it unfold on their own. And I've blogged about something in the past sort of similar, which is, whenever I start to feel good about something in my life, when I start meditating or when I started doing different things, I try to drag all my friends in to join me on the ride. Just let them walk their own path. When they see how together and peaceful, or how something affects you and makes you so happy and tranquil, and they want to get in on it, and they ask you, sure, then you can get on your soapbox and give them your tirade if you want. But for the most part, yeah, that's my takeaway, is don't give advice or help unless someone asks for advice or help. Just listen and be a good friend. I hope you have a wonderful week. Namaste, Gaso, salutations. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching, and as always, please share and like this video, and share my blog, and you're welcome to start any discussions either in the YouTube discussion below or at the blog. Ask any questions and any topics you'd like to engage me on, if it's this one or another one. I do welcome interaction if that's what you're looking for.